In this video, I will show you the solution to the number experiment. Recall that in this assignment, you were supposed to create an experiment with 240 trials, and on each trial, you will be presenting participants with one of the 8 digits, and participants have to make a response as to whether the number is greater or less than a reference number, 5. And your program is supposed to record participants' information, trial number, the digits shown to them, whether the digit is greater or less than 5, the response participants made, their accuracy and reaction time. And in the last video, I've also shown you the completed assignment in terms of what the experiment looks like. So what I'm going to do today is to go to the code of this number experiment and just point out a few things that will be important in solving this assignment. So here's the code that I wrote. It's essentially a revision of the choice reaction time task. You're going to see it as looking very similar to it. So we're going to have the initial experimental parameter that's essentially the same as the other code. We're going to have the sound that gives participants feedback with regard to whether they're correct or not. We have a section of the login prompt. The only thing that I changed here is just the experiment name. It used to be choice RT. Now I just named it number experiment 1. I've also changed which variables will be written out into the output file. So this just goes into the header. In this section, if you compare it with my choice reaction time code, you'll see that the screen parameters section is actually shorter because we are presenting the digit at the center of the screen. So we don't really need to randomize its position. That allows me to get rid of all the codes about where to place the items. This is also an experiment that doesn't require you to load a visual image, and therefore I deleted those codes as well. So we have our instructions that tells participants what they're supposed to do, and you wait for the space bar to start the experiment. And now we're going to go into the trial loop. But before the trial loop, I have this one little sentence here. Okay, this is actually really important. So I have the 8 digits. You might remember it goes from 1 to 4 and 6 to 9, and we skipped number 5 here. And essentially what I did here is to put these numbers into an array called number set. This is the set that I'm going to call later. Actually, I have one little code that's going to do most of the task for the number experiment. So now we're going to go into the trial, into the block loop. So we have 1 all the way through 10 blocks of trials. So my n blocks is 10. So we go into the loop. There is a little bit of an instruction that tells participants that they're going to start, say, block number 1 out of 10. And then they're going to click to start the block. Just like in the choice reaction time, I'm going to randomize the trial order at the beginning of each block. So this essentially shuffles the order. The number of trials in my experiment is 24. So I have 10 blocks with 24 trials each. So I'm randomizing the order of essentially the values 1 through 24. So this is a variable that gets passed into the next line here. And now we're ready to go into the trial loop. So my trial goes from 1 to the number of trials to 24. So this is going to loop 24 times for the trials. Essentially, this is the one command that I used to determine which number is going to be shown to participants. So if you look here, what I have is the trial order. Say this is my first trial. I've already randomized, say, the first item that goes into trial order, the first one, let's just say it's 10. Okay, so I would take, for instance, trial order 10. Okay, this is a trial order 1, but it returns the value 10. Okay, then I use the mod function, which uses, in this case, 10 divided by 8, and it tells me what the remainder is. Okay, so in my case, the remainder is going to be 2. Okay, because my number set is an array, and when you call an array in MATLAB, you go from 1 all the way to the last item. So my number set goes from number set 1 to 8, right? So I want to add a 1 here because I don't want to call number set 0. That's going to give me an error. So essentially what this does, this little function here, is to give me the index that's going to go into the number set array. And this essentially corresponds to the numbers that I have here, 1 through 4, 6 to 9. So this little command here is drawing a random number from the number set that I have. And in fact, it also ensures that among the 24 trials I have in the loop, each digit is going to be called 3 times, but in an unpredictable order. So this is something you want to take a look. And if you didn't write your code this way, you might want to spend a few minutes to really understand what it does, because this is how I used to choose the digit. It's just the one command. Okay, at this point, I used the draw text to present the digit that I just created at the center of the screen. Then I waited for participants to make the response. So this is the same as the choice reaction time, where we're waiting for key 1 or key 2 to break out of the loop. We figure out the reaction time, and then I determined whether the response was correct or not. So if the digit is less than 5 and they pressed the left button, or if the digit is greater than 5 and they press the right button, then I say it's correct, and they give them the sound feedback and so on. And finally, at the very end, I recorded into my output file the participants' information, okay, the block that the participants is being tested, the trial number, the digit shown to participants, okay, as well as the button pressed, whether they're correct or not, and the reaction time. Okay, so this is a very simple script. It actually only took about 150 lines here. The essential part is that one command here that I spent quite a bit of time on. Now I want to show you what the data output looks like. Okay, so this was from about a block of data. So that's 24 trials of what I did earlier. So this is the data file. You have here participant number, their age, gender, the group, the block number. So I only really did one block and quit out of it. The trial number 1 through 24, and the digits shown to participants. So you can see here it's in random order. The 8 potential digits that I have here, the button that they pressed, the accuracy and reaction time. Now, if you want to verify that my code is working properly, you want to see whether, as I said, there are 24 trials, each digit should have been shown 3 times. So I just sorted the digits shown to participants. You can see here, indeed, this is the case.